June, how's your day
No.
going aside from, talking about yourself a ton and Stillwater a ton?
Well, it's just started, so we'll see, but it's going fine. How's yours?
Nonstop but good. And
Yeah.
we're talking about you, not my day here. And
Oh,
am I correct? You came on board with season three of this series?
No, I've actually been on board since the beginning, in development.
So
There
that
was,
means, to rudely interrupt you, Wikipedia, believe it or not, is wrong.
it is wrong, yeah. No, I've been the co-showrunner with Rob Hoagie since the very beginning.
So
Um,
so
yeah.
we'll leave that mistake in to show how wrong I am and how right you are. So when you join a show that early, how far ahead were you planning? Were you storyboarding from the beginning, going, if we get to season four, this is where it can go?
Well, always hopes that there's more seasons, right? And I think because it's sort of a you know these are universal things that you can keep talking about for many different episodes. So I think that we hoped there would be more, but we did have an ending if it was necessary, but luckily it wasn't. So
There you go. You
yeah.
have music in this series from a great singer-songwriter who I've been a fan of before he was a solo artist, Kishibashi,
Yep.
Kei Ishibashi, whatever you want to call
Hey.
Kaoru. But how did he come on board with this?
It was actually, I think, somebody from Apple who really wanted him. But once we heard him, we fell in love with him right away. And we had tossed around a lot of ideas, but he seemed perfect for the project, honestly. So we were very happy to have him on board.
And then the cast itself, it's a mix of comics, traditional voiceover artists, and so forth. Was that part of the development, or did just everything fall in place naturally?
The voice cast.
Yes.
Um, it's interesting because we did test, of course, several actors for Stillwater himself being a very specific kind of character because he has to exude this, kind, understanding, and almost like a Zen teacher personality. And when we found James C., he was just sort of the perfect combination of all those things. And it had this sort of gentle feeling to his voice, so he was the guy. And the kids were all like, young actors. They were all real children in this show. So it was fun, slightly challenging at times, but also always a joy to work with kids. And so they were all up and comers, basically.
Well, testing Wikipedia a little more, was the first notable credit you had the Tasmania series?
Way back when, I don't want to say give away my age, but yes, I believe that was my first actual on-screen credit as an artist. Yeah, for Warner
So,
Brothers.
how'd you fall into animation as opposed to live action for such a long-term career?
Interesting because I actually went to a live action film school, USC.
USC, yeah, yeah.
I think I could draw. That was part of it. I always loved animation, and I felt like I had more of a voice in this medium as opposed to live action, where there were so many other people, vying. But I feel like I had more to say, and I had more of an ability to say it, I guess. So at the time I took advantage of the very underused animation department at USC, and I made all kinds of stuff, and I was able to get away with it, even in a live action curriculum. So from then on, I was just sold and jumped right in.
And what exactly was the jumping point from being a storyboard person to actually directing? Was it a particular project?
I think I was directing my whole life, and it was always something I was going to do. Like even in high school, I was telling my friends what to do and making films and you know commandeering the theater department at school, and it just kept going. I think I my first directing job was actually I was 24. I was pretty young, so at Hanna-Barbera. Um, I
Wow.
don't know. I just I've always had visions that I just love telling stories, and uh, it just sort of came naturally, I guess.
Going back those student films, are you still proud of them? Can you watch them without cringing?
In a way, I mean, I think we're all a little embarrassed of our first early work, right? because we're learning at the time, you
Well,
know.
the Beatles were 22, so maybe not the Beatles.
Well, maybe not the Beatles. Speaking of which, I played a Beatles cover band, so that's amusing. Um,
I knew that you were a musician, but what do you play in the Beatles tribute band or cover band?
well, it's just it's an interesting cover. I don't want to go into that because I know that's just about Stillwater, but I play bass guitar. Anyway,
Oh, okay. Next time I interview you, we're gonna talk about all the Wings stuff as
yeah, we
well.
were just on KLOS too, Breakfast with the Beatles. Anyway, I did.
Wow. Okay,
I
June.
digress. I digress.
June, you're fascinating. So, long story short, season 4, it is upon us. Looking ahead, could there be season 5 if the powers that be say that there is?
You'll have to speak to Apple on that, but I would hope so.
And
There's so many more things to talk about, you know, and stories to tell, emotional things to work out and work through and help kids with, you know.
and for us to find out about that and other projects you're working on, what's the best way to follow you?
Follow me personally.
Sure. I mean,
Uh,
IMDb, or is it Instagram, or is it
I'm sort of a little bit terrible with social media, if I'm honest, for my own personal stuff. I mean, Apple, of course, has lots of things you could follow, but in terms of me myself, I do have an Instagram account that I occasionally update. So,
occasionally update? Got it. Well,
yeah.
thank you for your time. Thank you for correcting Wikipedia. Hopefully, the Wikipedia bots hear this and fix that glaring error. And looking forward to what's to come from you and team.
All right. Thank you so much, sir.
Paltrocast.